Good afternoon. Welcome to the Star Teacher, Star Student Awards Ceremony presented by Gaston County Schools and sponsored by the Gaston Gazette. I am Todd Hagans from the Gaston County Schools Communications Department, and it is a pleasure to have all of you with us this afternoon. Today's ceremony recognizes outstanding high school students and the accomplished teachers who go above and beyond the call of duty to see that they are successful. The students who you are going to hear from in just a few minutes are all seniors, and they rank number one academically in the class of 2015. To offer our official welcome this afternoon, I would like to introduce Ms. Dot Cherry, who serves on the Gaston County Board of Education. Please welcome Dot Cherry.
Okay, well, he's already said good afternoon, but I'll say it again. Good afternoon, welcome. I hope everybody's enjoying the food because it's quite tasty. Thanks for being here, and on behalf of the Board of Education and our Chairman, Kenny Lutz, thank you for coming to this great event. First, I'd like to introduce some of my fellow board members. Mr. Mark Upchurch from Caravel Township, Mr. Lee Dedman, Gastonia Township, and Ms. Dot Guthrie from Gastonia Township. Oh, come on, y'all stand up. I also want to thank the Gaston Gazette. Hunter, if you would stand up. We couldn't have these events without their support. As long as I can remember, when we used to call it the Gastonia Gazette, they've been so supportive of our school system, and we thank you, and we know you're going to continue being supportive. Also, Dr. Ann Tippett, is she here? In the Shield. This is a beautiful facility. We appreciate them letting us borrow it, and know that they will continue to support our system. Now, while we're here, each of our STAR students are being honored today have selected a teacher or an educator that have influenced them in some way or another. This event is one of my favorite events. A lot of times I end up crying because it makes me think of a teacher in my life. Fortunately, and I know y'all laugh, it's been almost 40 years since I got out of high school. But many of the teachers that led me, that could be debatable, I still keep in touch with. So this is truly a special day for not only the students but for the teachers, because you will keep in touch with each other, or I hope you will. These educators are among the best of the best in Gaston County. They are our STAR teachers because they go above and beyond every day, and they do make the difference. To everyone being honored here this afternoon, the Board of Education, we commend you, we salute you, and we're very, very proud of you. We have no doubt of our STAR students that will go on to become professionals and leaders in their chosen communities, and we hope it's going to be Gastonia or Gaston County, so please come back. And we know that the STAR teachers will continue to instill a love of learning in the students who enter their classrooms. And I want to give you an ovation for choosing education, because it's a tough field, and we thank you. So thank you, educators. Again, welcome. Congratulations to our STAR students and our STAR teachers. Now, let's enjoy the program. Todd.
Thank you, Mrs. Cherry. At this time, to bring greetings on behalf of our event sponsor, please welcome the editor of the Gaston Gazette, Hunter Bretsius.
Thank you, Todd. Yes, I'm Hunter Bretsius. I'm the editor of the Gazette. I'm very pleased to be here today. Like Dot, this is one of my favorite events. I'm happy to recognize some faces that we were just in this room a week ago recognizing the best and brightest. And I see several of our students that we honored here to honor their teachers tonight. The Gazette's very happy to partner with the school system to bring this event to you. Please be sure to read Monday's Gazette, when we will have photographs by Mike Henstall of the teachers and students and republish their essays. So that'll be in Monday's Gazette. Thank you very much.
Now it is a pleasure to introduce a dynamic educational leader who has a vision to move Gaston County Schools forward. Please welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. W. Jeffrey Booker.
Well, good afternoon. The smartest thing I can do is be brief and let the children go. But I would like to take a moment to thank all that are here for what you have done to be here. You know, the teachers are selected for what they do every day for all students. But today, a student took a moment to choose you, to single you out and say thank you for the difference you've made in their lives. You know, it has also been said, though, that teachers learn a lot from their students. And I think as we hear your comments, we'll see how the students have given to you as much. What's really neat about these students that we'll hear is it's not only their academics that we celebrate. They are leaders, not only in their schools, but in their communities. That's what brings them to us today. Numerous awards and accolades have been received by these students, just as Hunter spoke to seeing them again and again. It's that time of the year, isn't it? So we are happy that we get to celebrate our stars. But I will challenge you to remember that old Chinese proverb that says, better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. So, let's get on with this and let's listen to our students. Thank you, Todd.
We are ready to meet our star students and star teachers in the class of 2015. I will introduce each student and teacher and have the student come to the podium to read the essay. We would like for the teacher to please stand here beside the podium as the student shares his or her essay. Then we will give the teacher an opportunity to make brief remarks before the award presentation. Superintendent Booker and the Board of Education members will present to the star teacher the official Star Teacher Award, a framed copy of the star student's essay, and a Gaston County Schools lapel pin. Each student will receive the Star Student plaque and a Star Student lapel pin. We begin this afternoon with South Point High School. The star student is Kendrick Eisenhower, who plans to attend Duke University. His star teacher is Leslie Kalmbach. She is an English teacher at Stuart W. Kramer High School. Please welcome Kendrick and Leslie.
There are teachers who are masters in their subjects. They have the incredible ability to convey ideas to students from any walk of life in a comprehensible way. These artists are few and far between. Perhaps even more rare are those who are able to teach students not only the material, but more about their limits, about their abilities, about their potential. This is how I see Leslie Kalmbach. I will never forget visiting her at Stuart Kramer and watching her fret over feeling as if she had inadequately prepared her students for their state exams. If this does not exemplify her zeal for being a teacher, I don't know what could. It is extremely difficult for me to put into words what she has done for me. It may seem like she was merely doing what she has done for students 100 times over, but it has made a greater impact on me than merely doing anything. The fact that there is someone out there who believes I am going somewhere, who wants to see me achieve more than I ever thought possible, who has pushed me to make myself better in all aspects of my life, is someone I never thought I would have. But here we are now. She has never looked at my writing and told me I was hopeless, no matter how true that word may have been. She always highlights what was done wrong and how to break out of being just another writer, another applicant, for she believes I'm something more than that. Thank you for dedicating such a vast amount of time to students such as myself, not because you have to, but because you want to. Thank you for being the star teacher that you truly are.
In preparing for today, I decided to take a digital stroll down memory lane. I read through my archived emails, perused my shared with folder, and was pleased to find an electronic time capsule of my time with Kendrick. Now, I'd love to show you the old photos from student council elections, but I'm pretty sure he would change his mind about inviting me up here if I did that. What I found was a kind of time-lapse video of what led us here today. There were emails about summer assignment before he entered my class, messages during his time in my class, where he would ask questions or talk through an essay idea. But my favorite notes have been from this year. They go back to September, where he completed a request for letters of recommendation. Rather than just filling out the Google form with standard answers, he started talking to me about college choices and his levels of confidence in each, his mild freak out and guidance that day, and his wallow in stress overall. If you know Kendrick, being stressed is pretty much a constant. Kendrick strives for perfection. When handed back an essay, despite being the top writer in my class, he'd come by and want to know how to improve. His drive was no less energetic when preparing for college applications. What set him apart from his peers was his ability to truly collaborate on his writings. He would suffer through my comments such as, "Wonky, get rid of this, and this doesn't work, but I'm not sure why." He would comment back, clarify his stance, argue to keep a detail I'd chopped, or resubmit for a new review. While exhausting for both of us sometimes, in the end, his essays truly reflected his insights, his personality, and his drive to succeed. When the acceptance letters started dropping into his inbox and the scholarships offers came in, new emails dropped into my box as well. As college became a concrete plan, so did the plans for his future. Questions of how to approach a college major, maybe a double major, and how it would all result in employment in the end replaced that agonizing wait between application deadlines and decision days. As he heads off to Duke, I hope to see Kendrick Eisenhower drop into my inbox from time to time, because what he may not realize is that his notes often make the difference in my life. Thank you.
Next, from Forest View High School, we have star student Kaylin Forbes. Kaylin plans to attend New York University or UNC Chapel Hill. Her star teacher is Kathy Love, a social studies teacher at Forest View High School.
At the beginning of my third year in high school, I walked into my United States history class, sat down, and was surprised to see a new teacher. At that point, I had no idea I would be meeting someone who would turn out to be such an influential and important person in my life. Honestly, my first impression of Miss Love was terrifying. She came into the classroom and began to list out a long set of rules and then proceeded to tell us to kiss our lives goodbye because now we belong to her. However, as the semester progressed and I had the opportunity to really get to know her, my mindset quickly changed. Miss Love's decision to come back from retirement to teach another generation was a truly selfless act, one that exemplifies the strength of her character. She is always putting her students before herself, even before her health, since we cause her added stress. Moreover, she has a vibrant passion for teaching history and a talent for inspiring her students. Confiding in Miss Love is very easy, and dancing with her is a joy. My personal connection with Miss Love runs extremely deep because she is my confidant. She knows everything about my life and is able to read my thoughts and facial expressions when I am upset. I'm honest with her as she is with me, and she pushes me to go above and beyond in all endeavors. She is the only teacher I know who gives out elf names, has a love for flamingos, and a very healthy obsession with Elvis. Miss Love not only pushes her students to contribute to the community, but also gives to the community herself. She became our sponsor of Beta Club this year and has been organizing drives and events throughout the year. Although she never had any children of her own, without a doubt, her students are her children because of her unwavering devotion and loyalty to them. To everyone else, my name is Kaylin, but to Miss Love, I'm always Lucy Jane.
I'm not real good at getting up and talking. Lucy Jane is one of my special ones. I taught for many years in York, South Carolina. I taught Mr. Clinton back there. But I wanted to come back, and last year when I walked in the classroom, I knew I had come to the right place. It's been a true joy to work with these students, with the administration and staff at Forest View. I couldn't have asked for a better time. My students are special. They are my children. And I consider Lucy Jane to be mine. When she went to Europe this past summer, I told her, don't forget me. Well, she didn't mail me postcards, but she did bring them all back to me. And they're on my bulletin board. I know that she is someone that I will stay in touch with, because when a child touches your heart, you just can't let them go. And she is definitely in my heart.
Next, we have Webb Street School. The star student is Shannon Lane. Shannon looks forward to joining the workforce after high school. Her star teacher is Karen Lee. She is a retired special education teacher at Webb Street School.
I am very excited to tell you about a very special teacher. Her name is Miss Karen Lee. She is retired now, but she was my teacher for 3 years. In Miss Lee's class, we learned lots of things. She helped me read books like Romeo and Juliet and the Mystery of New York City. We learned about characters, plots, and the authors. Miss Lee taught me many other things too. I learned many spelling words, how to use them in sentences and stories. I also learned how to type on the computer, how to make a PowerPoint, and how to look things up online. Miss Lee let me know that she was proud of me and that I was doing a good job. Miss Lee always expected me to work hard, but we had fun too. When we had our talent show, she was up on stage with us. The day of prom, she always dressed up and she made sure we felt beautiful on our special day. I liked being in Miss Lee's class. She taught me to be the best that I can be. Although Miss Lee is no longer my teacher, she will always be my friend.
I don't know what to say. It brings tears. I did retire in June, and Shannon was one of the best people and strived to be the best, like what she'd said in the room. And we did a lot of stuff like what they'd said, and it was a hard decision for me to leave. But I knew they were all graduating and this year, and so I knew that they'd be all right and they'd be in the senior class, and I had a good senior class teacher, but she always was there with a smile on her face and always happy and always willing to work and do, her spelling and her math and her reading and everything that I gave her, she would be there and never would fuss or complain. And yes, Miss Lee, whatever, you need, or she always helped me in every way that she could. So I've missed them all terribly, and hopefully get to see them all. So I was honored to get this award, and thanks a lot.
The program says Ashbrook High School is next, but our star student is also a star tennis player, so we are hoping that he will be able to join us by the end of the program. So we will move now to the Highland School of Technology, and at Highland there is a three-way tie for first in the class. We will recognize all three students. We begin with star student Jennifer Chan. She plans to attend Loyola Marymount University, and her star teacher is Joseph Yavalak, a math teacher at the Highland School of Technology.
Pre-calculus was one of the most strenuous math classes I have taken in my high school career. However, when I got to calculus, I had Mr. Yavalak, who turned all the concepts I learned in pre-calculus into an easier, more understandable form. He has taught me to push and challenge myself to do better academically and to be a better person than I once was. After the first test in his class, he told me that he was disappointed in my grade, and I didn't understand why. He had only been at the school for a week and a half, and I didn't think he knew me at all. When I asked him about it, he said, "I have seen what you are capable of and what you have the potential of achieving, and I know that you can do better." Only then did I understand that he truly cared that his students learned and that we reached our full capacities. He is always willing to work every step out and at the pace that students need. I was excited to learn that he was not only my calculus teacher, but also my new advisor for math club. One day we were working on our team's packets, and he asked me if I was okay. I've never had a teacher who cares much about me personally, and it is rare in this world to find a person who is willing to step out of the normal boundaries of social standards. High school students undergo an extreme amount of stress, with homework, extracurricular activities, personal matters, and sometimes people forget that all that pressure is going on. Given this chance to tell Mr. Yavalak something, I would like to say thank you for being so considerate. I have enjoyed having you as a teacher and as someone I feel comfortable around. Even though you have only been at Highland for a year, I can sense the profound effect that you will have on future students, and I know that they, as I, appreciate your compassion and dedication to your job and to influencing future generations.
First, I'd just like to say thank you to Jennifer for honoring me with this award. It's really nice coming from Jennifer. We've had a lot of good times this year. She was in my calculus class. We had teams competition. We had a pizza eating extravaganza that you may have heard of. No? But it was fun. So, and she's an all-around fantastic student. Jennifer brings a lot of energy and a lot of life to the classroom. And if you know me, lively and fun and exuberant, I don't really get called that a lot. So, it was nice having Jennifer in there. She always brought a real positive energy into the class. And not only that, but she's a remarkably brilliant, creative thinker. She does a fantastic job with that. And I don't think she's ever seen a challenge that she didn't rise up to. On my test, we have bonus questions at the end that I put out there is the more difficult problems to kind of test them and see what they're capable of. And for Jennifer, it might take a page and a half for her to work them out, but I knew if somebody was going to get it, it'd be Jennifer. And she's a really, really sharp student. Never met a challenge that she didn't rush to. And next, she's heading off to California to do film school. So, that's quite a challenge in and of itself. So I just want to say again, thank you. Congratulations for your award, and good luck in the future.
Our next student from the Highland School of Technology is Brian Liberatori. He plans to attend North Carolina State University. His star teacher is Bobby Wright, the engineering teacher at the Highland School of Technology.
After spending 4 years in Highland's engineering lab, I have learned and gained many things. From the simple lessons of freshman year, I was given a foundation. From the connection of complex circuits, I was given a possible career. From the analysis of dull charts, I learned patience, and from Mr. Wright, I was given an outstanding teacher and a great friend. The biggest thing I've taken away from being in Mr. Wright's classroom is to lead by example. Mr. Wright does not just come out and tell students what he expects of them and the quality of work he finds acceptable, he shows us. He has showed me that the quality of work I put out will be a representation of myself and to always do the things the right way first. These subtle lessons do not go unappreciated by me and my classmates. On our first day as seniors, when Mr. Wright entered the classroom, we all stood up and applauded him as he made his way to the front of the room. Not only has Mr. Wright been an amazing teacher to everyone in my engineering class, but he has also been someone we can talk to and count on. He has truly made a bond with every one of his students. We even have a joke in our classroom that goes, "Don't you harm the last hair on Mr. Wright's head." Mr. Wright, thank you for being such a great teacher. You have made such a tremendous impact on my life. And I am proud to be following in your footsteps by attending NC State and going into the engineering field.
Brian, thank you very much. I'm really honored and touched, and I appreciate you reminding me about the joke with my hair. You can always count on these guys. You know, I failed to get the memo that I was supposed to make remarks, so I'm going to be very brief, guys. Brian has been one of my best students, obviously. He's the kind of student that really makes my job easy and rewarding. If I had to pick one thing that I felt like was Brian's greatest attribute, I'd have to say perfection. He has to know that everything is correct before he will give up, to the point that I've lost my hair. I had a full head of hair when I started 4 years ago. But he will not give up until he makes sure that he's gotten everything right. And he's been so successful in the classroom, in the lab. I can't imagine him being anything other than successful in college and career. And I want to congratulate him also. His internship this year was with 4 Yarns. He also has a summer job with 4 Yarns, and I know that's a company that's near and dear to Gaston County. So, Brian, I appreciate the choice of college. I wish you well, and I want to thank everyone for this honor. Thank you very much.
Our next student from the Highland School of Technology, the star student, is Ashlyn Sawyer. She plans to attend Elon University. Her star teacher is Jennifer Gallagher, a business and marketing teacher at the Highland School of Technology.
Over my 4 years as a student at Highland, Ms. Gallagher has been my cheerleading coach, homeroom teacher, Future Business Leaders of America advisor, student council advisor, and instructor for 2 of my pathway classes. This list of connections is an obvious testament to the extreme involvement she has maintained as a faculty member. In my eyes, Ms. Gallagher qualifies as a star teacher because she embodies the characteristics of commitment and dedication. In her classroom, you can never complain that you are not given adequate one-on-one attention when needed. She has always been available before and after school to answer questions and provide further explanation. She is a teacher who is committed to ensuring she has done everything in her power to keep her students at the appropriate pace. I always felt that I had genuine support and was being pushed towards my full potential because she strives to bring out the best performance in all of her students. She has a real passion for finding your strengths and showing you how to apply them to better yourself and grow as a student and person. On many occasions, she sacrificed her time in order to supplement our education. A prime example of this is when she had to take personal time when she had her second baby.
Prior to taking her leave, she spent countless hours preparing lessons and assignments, lining up substitutes that would be the most beneficial to continue our learning, and giving us as much instruction as possible to ease the transition. Even while on leave, she was constantly communicating to check on our progress and then return to the classroom as soon as possible to maintain our timeline for the semester's remaining units. I've always respected the fact that when Ms. Gallagher commits to a task, she does so with full force. Her persistent drive towards her teaching and students has been a great example of how to strongly approach life after high school. I commend her dedication to enriching the impressionable lives of those she instructs and playing an active role in the journey we take throughout high school.
Thank you, Ashlyn. I was surprised when I got the invitation. I knew that the STAR teacher existed, and it was that renewed, that wonderful feeling when you realize that you do make that impact on your students. And you do know that every day sitting in the classroom, but when you get honored at something like this, it's that extra special feeling. I can't thank her enough. I'm very, very thankful. And I coached Ashlyn in cheerleading, and she ended up with the last year that I coached cheerleading, and she was one of the main reasons I found it very hard to leave, because she was such a wonderful student and cheerleader. Probably harder to tell her than Mr. Dedman that I wasn't going to do cheerleading anymore, but I knew she'd do well, and she has done well. I teach accounting, and she excelled at it. To make accounting exciting sometimes is hard to do, but she has done a wonderful job, and I know she'll do a wonderful job as she goes on to college and in life. Thank you.
Next, from Bessemer City High School, the STAR student is Shadayla Fair. She plans to attend ECPI University. Her STAR teacher is Tiffany Fletcher, a science teacher at Bessemer City High School.
Many people do not honor teachers or give credit to teachers when it's due. Teachers are our mentors and guide us in the right direction in life. Today I want to recognize my favorite teacher who has greatly impacted my life. I've had the honor of having Miss Tiffany Fletcher, or sometimes referred to as Tiff Tiff, as a teacher for 3 of my high school years. She was my teacher for biology, AP biology, forensics, and AP earth science. Through her successful teaching techniques, she's been able to make a huge difference in the education I have received while attending BCHS. Miss Fletcher is not an ordinary teacher. While teaching, you can see that she loves what she does. She loves being able to help others and make a difference in their life. Her students are her #1 priority, and she is willing to do anything in her power to ensure they receive a tremendous education. Not only has she been a great productive teacher to me, she has also been a role model and inspired me in many ways. By watching her successful and receive encouraging words from her, she has motivated me to be successful in every aspect of my life. Some students refer to me as her teacher's pet. However, that is not the case. As both of us come from single-parent backgrounds, Ms. Fletcher and I are able to relate to one another in many ways. If I'm having a bad day, I know once I get to Ms. Fletcher's class, everything will be okay. Each day, while still focusing on learning, we all have a good laugh or two in her class. If no other teacher understands me, I know Ms. Fletcher will. No matter how far I decide to go from Bessemer City, I will forever remember Ms. Fletcher. She has had a tremendous effect on my life, and I will always cherish the memories we have. Thanks for all you do, Ms. Fletcher. You're greatly appreciated.
Shadayla is one of those students you just can't forget. She always touches your heart. And I still remember when she walked into my biology class as a freshman, a little shy, a little scared. What is she going to make me do? She's acting a little crazy. But what she probably didn't know is, as a second-year teacher, I was probably more terrified than she was to teach her. I've had the opportunity to see her grow through all 3 years that I have taught her, and I'm so honored to have had the privilege to teach her at Bessemer City. I know she is going to do amazing things as she continues on, and I look forward to seeing her continue to grow as she goes into college.
At North Gaston High School, there are 2 students that are tied for #1 in the class. We will recognize both students. First, from North Gaston High School, the STAR student is Adam Phillips. He plans to attend North Carolina State University. His STAR teacher is Elizabeth Leonard. She is a science teacher at North Gaston High School.
When I read my essay, I'm probably not going to like it, so if I mess up, it's because I'm changing it. Although going to North Gaston may have seemed like I was going, like it would take forever for me to graduate, it would have been a terrible waste of time if I had not had her as a teacher, because she's just like the most awesome person ever. With experience in teaching pretty much all science-related courses, like, she knows everything, just not that. That sounded wrong. Ms. Linder taught me 3 different subjects: chemistry, anatomy, and physiology, and AP environmental science. She's a top-notch instructor, and she knows so much that she likes to talk about how sundrop is the new modern involving methods of the modern world. Ms. Linder gave up a well-paying job so that she would be at the forefront of providing quality education to those who would someday take control of the world. If she hadn't acted out of the love for teaching and learning, I would have never had this amazing teacher. Mentors like her need to be commemorated for their hard work and dedication to their schools around the world, especially those educators who are capable of helping students who have missed out on a potentially great education up to this point. To me, it is a logical assumption that a teacher so dedicated to the education of the future generations is one who needs much more recognition than just being selected star student by me. Quality teachers like these do not come around all that often, and if we neglect such talented individuals, what would motivate potential teachers to become fine educators like Miss Linder? She has left a lasting impact on my own education, as well as many others at North Gaston.
Well, as Adam said, I've been very fortunate to have him in 3 of my science classes, and that's truly been a unique experience for me. I need to thank you for your drive, your determination, your interest, your motivation, and your ability to challenge me every single day in a good way. I will always treasure our talks on logical thought. I heard it in there. A behavior and why not everybody thinks like we do. I know that you're going to do great things at NC State, and I can't wait to hear all about it.
The star student from North Gaston High School, our second star student, Andrew Phillips. He plans to attend North Carolina State University. His star teacher is Lynn Fowler. Unfortunately, Mrs. Fowler could not be here this afternoon. She had a conflict with this program, but she couldn't be here. But we are going to ask Andrew to please come forward and read his essay, and Mary Beth Edwards, the assistant principal at North Gaston, will accept for the star teacher.
I've had the privilege of being the student of Miss Fowler for 3 consecutive years, each one seemingly by pure chance. I first met Miss Fowler 3 years ago at the open house preceding 10th grade. Due to scheduling complications, I was faced with several undesirable options, the best of which was to switch out of pre-AP English into honors. I was told by my counselor that the class would be taught by a newly hired teacher who had just moved from Florida that summer. Reluctantly, I agreed to the changes based on the praise given to her by my counselor and principals. This was one scheduling choice I would not regret. Through the next 2 years, fortune was on my side, with different teachers leaving and others moving to different classes, allowing me to have this teacher again for both AP English 11 and 12. Always full of wit and sarcasm, Miss Fowler never fails to get straight to the point. Her unique personality contributes immensely to her effectiveness as a teacher, striking excitement into her students. Even when the subject is something as boring as poetry, she still manages to keep things interesting with her witty comments and sarcastic nature that every student learns to appreciate. She had an incredible influence on me during my junior year in her AP Language and Composition class. Here we focused on the makeup and design of powerful arguments. She sparked in me a passion for crafting my own convincing rhetorical arguments that could assist me in whichever way I chose to make my mark on the world. Because of her amazing instruction, I have resolved to obtain my law degree and work with the science background of my bachelor's degree to enact my dreams on the world. Miss Fowler has been one of several of the most mind-altering teachers I have encountered at North Gaston. She has been instrumental in exciting and eager enthusiasm that will be decisive throughout all my future endeavors. The impact she has had on me will last a lifetime.
To give you further indication of Ms. Fowler's dedication to education, she is currently on a field trip with a whole grade level of fifth graders, so that's why she could not be here today. But I know that she is very honored to be recognized by Drew and very happy and feels privileged to have taught both Adam and Drew for the past 3 years.
We also have 2 students tied for first in the class at Hunter Huss High School, so we will recognize both students. First, from Hunter Huss High School, we have star student Elisa Leyva. She plans to attend Syracuse University. Her star teacher is Lisa Brooks, a school counselor at Hunter Huss High School.
Entering through the halls of Hunter Huss High School for the first time in junior year, my mind was filled with nervous thoughts as my palms sweated slightly. I was immediately directed to someone who would help me. I instantly admired her exuberant smile and encouraging remarks as she led me to my IB English class. These 2 qualities have been consistent throughout my experiences in high school with her, whether it was enrolling me in an online summer class or helping me decide the list of colleges to apply to. She has always made me feel like I could accomplish anything. During the beginning of this year, I had a rough time with calculus, where I considered dropping the class. She insisted that I stay, arranging a meeting with the principal, where they told me that such a class is essential for entering a good architecture program. By listening to this advice, I was accepted into Syracuse's architecture program, which is the 3rd best in the nation. Through my school transfer, she helped me get the credits that I needed to become successful. Knowing my passion for art, she never forgets to send an email to me if there's an art competition or exhibit. Even with personal problems, she has helped me to relax and has comforted me. Whenever I am having trouble in class, she tries to find the best resolution. Whenever I am looking for extracurriculars to do, she is there to help find the one most suitable for me. Whenever I am in need of anything, she is always there with the same vibrant enthusiasm. Her determination to help me not only shows her altruism, but her own excellence in her duties as a counselor. She is undoubtedly an amazing person, and my accomplishments in high school would not have been the same without her. Thank you so much, Mrs. Brooks.
Thank you, Yulisa. Good afternoon. It is an honor and my pleasure to work with Yulisa as her school counselor. Yulisa is an impeccable student with an insatiable desire to learn and to achieve her goals. As a school counselor, a good bit of my time is spent informing students about special programs in and outside of our community. And sometimes it feels like I spend just as much time following up with those students in an effort to get their applications back for these programs. So when Yulisa came to me at the beginning of her junior year to request my assistance with completing applications for special programs that she had an interest in, to request letters of recommendations, or just to speak to me about the programs and the club ideas that she wanted to start at Hunter Huss High School, I knew then that she was a star student. I am going to miss working with you, Yulisa, but I am confident that she will continue to be a star student at Syracuse University.
Our second star student from Hunter Huss High School is Zachary Templeton. He plans to attend the Catholic University of America. His star teacher is Sergeant Dale Haig, the JROTC instructor at Hunter Huss High School. Unfortunately, Sergeant Haig could not be with us this afternoon, but we would like Zachary to come forward to read his essay, and then his principal, Torben Ross, will accept on behalf of Sergeant Haig.
So yes, as you've heard, unfortunately and fortunately, his son will be graduating from Fort Benning today, so he will not be here. I'm grateful to all my instructors, of course, under whom I've been a student during my time at Huss, and What in particular stands out to me most as a significant part of my life, that is Sergeant Haig. I regard him as significant because his main positive attribute relative to his students is not the knowledge he bestows, but rather the joy he gives and the leadership and responsibility that he fosters within the students. Sergeant Haig's sense of humor is one to appreciate, and his combination of wild energy and calm collectedness, both especially with regards to his job, is inspirational. He deals with apathetic and unwilling students with the most positive atmosphere and demeanor I have witnessed in such circumstances, and the knowledge he does impart to his students is that of practicality and applicability. He helpfully persisted in pushing me out of my comfort zone, which is very small, in such positions as company commander and so forth. And the leadership skills he has endowed me with will surely be necessary in my future. He has become a cherished friend to myself as well as my brother. He is sitting here, and I will embarrass him, for which we will be ever grateful. Thank you, Sergeant Haig.
Hopefully it is clear that I am neither Torben Ross nor Sergeant Haig. I am Wanda Roush. I am Zachary's school counselor at Huss High School, and I am Sergeant Haig's co-worker and friend. And I'm happy to read to you what he has written for Zach. Cadet Templeton, sorry I am unable to attend tonight. Duty calls for me to be at Fort Benning. Nevertheless, I have left the following words. Zach Templeton is a caring cadet. He demonstrates a friendly attitude toward other cadets and fellow students and always strives to help others. His strength, aspirations, and enthusiasm will benefit his future studies and career. I am honored to have such a student in my class, and I am also grateful to the family which has raised such an outstanding student. Zach has always been eager to gain knowledge, and his ability to mentor and train other cadets will prepare him for his future. Zach is very strong in his moral values. It has been a privilege for the past 4 years to observe him mature into an outstanding young man. The most important asset is to be someone who brings quality to society, who contributes his efforts, skills, and knowledge to improve one's life and the lives of other people. And this is Zach Templeton. I conclude by saying this young man has a bright and successful future ahead of him, and I appreciate you thinking of me with this honor. Sergeant First Class Dale T. Haig.
From Caravel High School, we have star student Caitlin Hay. She plans to attend Furman University. Her star teacher is Darcy Hay, a kindergarten teacher at Caravel Elementary School.
Teaching is a job that requires maximum commitment with little monetary reward. Some do the minimum, however, some go above and beyond what is expected, making them star teachers. The quintessence star teacher engages in her students' learning, spends extra hours completing lesson plans, and most importantly, truly cares about her students. One teacher that embodies this prototype is Mrs. Darcy Hay. Through multiple opportunities of shadowing and assisting her, I have seen firsthand the effect she has on her students. This star teacher is not satisfied with most of the class understanding a lesson. She will spend hours of her personal time to find a way to better teach the few that don't understand. Mrs. Hay sees potential in each of her students and successfully accomplishes the goal of no child left behind. Another characteristic of a star teacher is being able to form strong relationships with her students, almost like a mother. Ms. Hay forms these crucial bonds, truly connecting with her students. She even refers to them as her second family. I cannot recall all the times I have come home from school to a kitchen full of some sort of treats that I couldn't touch because they were for her other children. She not only treats them to snacks, but also takes on the responsibility of making sure her students have exactly what they need inside of the school and out. For many years now, Mrs. Hay has taken on the task of providing one of her students and their family with the Christmas they couldn't otherwise have. This takes much money, time, and passion. I fully believe that a person who excels in any profession should be extremely passionate. Through observation inside and out of the classroom, I have been truly inspired by Mrs. Hayes' passion for her students. The main things I have learned from her are to work hard no matter what you are facing and to do something you are truly passionate about. For all of these reasons, along with many more, I believe Mrs. Darcy Hay is the perfect candidate for a STAR teacher.
Well, since I live with this STAR student here, you'd think I was better prepared, but she was so sweet to not tell me until right before we came. So I had no idea. But I want to thank her. She's an excellent student. She's an excellent kid. She loves God, and she makes decisions that are based on that, and I'm just so impressed with her. I do love my kids at school, too. They are my other babies, and it's just the best profession to ever be a part of, so I'm just proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Next, we have East Gaston High School. The STAR student is Tyler Rapp. He plans to attend UNC Charlotte as a Levine Scholar. His STAR teacher is Jordan Turnipseed. She is the school counselor at East Gaston High School.
To begin, my STAR teacher is not actually one of my teachers, as previously mentioned. Rather, she is my counselor, Ms. Jordan Turnipseed. Fortunately, I've had the privilege of honoring one of my actual teachers elsewhere and had to seize this moment to give praise to Ms. Turnipseed. I honestly do not even know where to begin with talking about her. She's the absolute hardest worker, down-to-earth, kindest individual I've had the pleasure of meeting. Since the first day of school, I have been in and out of her office constantly begging for something, whether it is scholarship information, college application materials, or mere advice. She has never refused my company or shooed me away. She has only opened her door and assisted me in any way possible. This year, I've applied for 3 monumental scholarships. Ms. Turnipseed immediately took it upon herself to write one of my recommendation letters, and I must say it was one of the sweetest things that anyone has ever said about me. Long story short, Ms. Turnipseed aided me through the whole process, including setting up a mock interview and constantly giving me encouraging advice. In the end, I received the Park at NC State and the Levine at UNC Charlotte, the latter of which she actually suggested I apply for, and I must give her recognition for the work she put in to get me there. Additionally, just the other week, she sat down with me extensively to help me ultimately decide which scholarship I'll be happiest with, the Levine. Overall, Ms. Turnipseed has influenced me in the utmost positive ways. She is not only my counselor, she is a close friend that I can confide in and entrust with anything. She has seen me at my worst and seen me at my best, but fortunately, she has been by my side at my worst and has cheered me on at my best. I honestly cannot thank her enough for the genuine support and dedication she puts into everything she does, and for that, I say thank you.
He failed to mention when we talked about his 2 scholarships that he made a 5-page spreadsheet on the pros and cons to each. So that took a couple hours to go through. And that just goes to show you the kind of student that Tyler is. He is an exceptional student, and it has truly been my honor to be his counselor this year. And he will do wonderful, wonderful things, I have no doubt. I told him a couple weeks ago when he finally made his decision, I said, you know, Tyler, I said, just make sure they put me somewhere really nice that overlooks possibly the beach. And I said, because he's going to do great things. You will hear his name from now till probably the end of time. He's just that kind of kid. And it has truly been my honor to be his counselor and his friend. Thank you.
From the Gaston Early College High School, the STAR student is Montana Crosby. She would like to attend Johnson & Wales University. Her STAR teacher is Sharonda Pesur. She is an English teacher at the Gaston Early College High School.
When forced with choosing the teacher that I would like to bestow this honor to, many teachers ran through my mind. From teachers who made a lasting impression in my younger years, to high school teachers who opened me up to the real world and showed me reality. Finally, I chose the teacher who has made the most recent influence in my life. Miss Sharanda Paysor has changed my academic life forever. The first year I had Miss Paysor at Bessemer City High School, I hated her, to say the least. Nothing for me in her class clicked whatsoever. I would come home crying to my parents. I don't know what this teacher wants from me. I dreaded moving to the Gaston Early College because I knew that I would have her for the rest of my academic English career. My sophomore year, once I moved, something finally clicked. I began excelling at projects and assignments that she gave us. Again, my junior year, things got so much better, and I began to love the teacher that taught my English class and also the English that she taught me. I was sad when I learned my senior year I would not be allowed to have Miss Paysor as a high school English teacher because I had to move on to college English classes. Miss Paysor, you will not know how much MLA format has helped me in my life. The underclassmen at our school are so lucky to have such a great woman teaching them. They do not understand how great she is. Less than 400 words could never fully describe why I love Miss Paysor. She is committed not only to my success, but to my success outside of school by pushing me to do better in not only her English class, but other classes as well. As you wrote in my junior yearbook, stay awesome, nerds forever.
Okay, so this is Montana. She's trying to make me cry, which is cool because she's gonna make me cry again when she graduates next year. As a freshman, Montana was very quiet and very internal, and it took her a while to get out of her shell. But luckily, I had the time to do that, being able to be with her sophomore year and junior year, and still seeing her around senior year and even again next year. She's gonna have me even more again. It's been fabulous seeing her grow, becoming a strong, confident young woman, someone who's found her way in life. A quiet, unsure teenager who had no idea where she wanted to go, what she wanted to do, who now has seen her desires and her passions and is able and willing to fight for those. And I'm amazingly proud of you. And I love you. That's it.
Our star tennis player is here. And so we conclude our program this afternoon with Ashbrook High School. The star student is Dalton Hoskins. He plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill. His star teacher is Diana Zong Das, a science teacher at Ashbrook High School.
Through my 13 years in the Gaston County school system, I've had the opportunity to learn from a multitude of committed and experienced educators. Upon receiving this award and being presented with the opportunity to choose one teacher for recognition, I quickly realized that this task would not be a simple one. During my 4 years at Ashbrook, I've interacted with many phenomenal teachers and witnessed a variety of teaching styles. One academic area of interest for me is science. During my sophomore year, I took both honors and advanced placement chemistry. It was my privilege to have Ms. Diana Doss as my instructor for both of these classes. It did not take long for me to realize that Ms. Doss was not an average teacher. Ms. Doss possesses the ability to connect with her students. She expresses genuine interest in her students and in their endeavors. Many students find her to be a trusted advisor and feel connected to her because of her willingness to let people know her. She demonstrates tremendous patience with students when teaching difficult concepts and develops creative alternatives of communicating the concepts when students struggle. Her expectations are high, and she challenges students to achieve their potential. Ms. Doss exhibits an exceptional level of commitment. She attends all-day science fairs with her students and spends personal time advising students on their science fair projects. During my sophomore year, she provided me with much guidance on my first AP project initiative. She let me practice my presentation and offered suggestions for project improvements. All of these helped me to feel more confident about what I considered to be an intimidating process. Her class offered a variety of learning outlets. The ones I enjoyed most were the hands-on learning through experiments. These provided me with the chance to connect and apply chemistry concepts to reality. Of course, there were other activities, including reading books, taking notes, and completing other lab-related items. I'm grateful to have had the experience of learning from Ms. Doss, and I'm confident that students at Ashbrook will continue to find inspiration in her approach to have the privilege of learning from her teaching efforts. Thank you, Ms. Doss.
Well, it's actually fitting that we ended up going after the early college, because the opening of that school is the reason why I got to teach Dalton. Several years ago, that school opened and our physics teacher moved there, which means our AP chemistry teacher moved to physics, which means nobody was teaching AP chemistry. And I was like, hey, Mr. Clinton, I would love to teach that class. And he said, really? And I was kind of surprised, and I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I want to teach an AP class? And then I taught an AP class, and it was really hard. So this was very surprising to me, because I would consider my performance the first time around less than inspirational. But the reason why I wanted to teach it was because of students like Dalton. The reason I got into education was because my whole life, it's not so much me wanting to impact other people. I just really appreciate the way they impact me. And that's how I feel about my students. So I would miss them so bad. And I was like, I want to teach them again. And I didn't get to know Dalton until after they had already, hooked me up with the AP chemistry class. But his class showed up as these little adorable sophomores. There was 36 of them. It was extremely overwhelming. But I still use the picture that I took of them in my first day introduction as my students are my family, because he was really the first group that I felt that way about. So this was really special for me, and it was a total surprise. I did not expect it. But Dalton is obviously extremely bright, and he has been loved and hated by his peers since sophomore year, because they knew he was going to be the valedictorian. I was told really early on that was the case, and it was really cute to see them still try to compete, but just be like, Dalton is patient, intelligent, he's motivated, he works really hard, he's very precise, he has the best handwriting I've ever seen. And we had so much fun, and I'm so grateful for him and for the students that were in that class with him to make my transition into being a better teacher, because they were really patient with me. And I will never be the same because of them. And he's, forerunner in that group, so I will never forget him. Thank you very much, Dalton.
Thank you to our STAR students for sharing their heartfelt stories about these truly wonderful STAR teachers recognized here this afternoon. Let's have one final round of applause for our STAR teachers and STAR students. We would like to say a special thank you to our high school principals and guidance counselors and the central office administrators who are here today to support this program. We also want to thank the guests of our STAR teachers who are here with us this afternoon. And we want to acknowledge the parents of our STAR students. They are the proudest people in this room. As we conclude our program, I would like to share this quote. Teaching is a lifelong journey. To teach is to touch the lives of many. But to teach well is to make a difference in all the lives you touch. Congratulations, STAR teachers and STAR students. You are most deserving of this honor. Thank you all very much for being with us this afternoon. We hope you have a great evening.